Good morning, everybody, and welcome to video number 1. All right, this video for Wednesday morning is going to cover the lawsuit with Samantha Markle because there's been some updates and some developments. And you guys should know that she and her attorney just filed in court again. So let's take a look at this whole thing, shall we? Let's go. So here's a little background in case you're unaware. Samantha filed her lawsuit in response to the CBS interview from Oprah. So that was in March of 2022. Samantha claims that all the statements, the negative statements Meghan made about their family had a negative impact on the sale of her autobiography. She suffers from emotional and mental distress and had trouble finding work because of the televised, tell-all. She also said that Meghan's statements about her paying her way through college, that was untrue. We already knew that. The father provided money to attend elite and expensive private schools and covered her tuition at Northwest University. Samantha said that Meghan lied when she said that she and Meghan only saw each other a handful of times. She was extremely involved in Meghan's upbringing. I'm sorry, guys, but pictures don't lie. There are multiple pictures of Samantha with Meghan as a baby and growing up. She was obviously very involved in her life. And of course, we found out later on through court documents that after Doria had taken off and, Thomas became Meghan's sole providing parent, that it was Samantha that would show up at the house every day and pick Meghan up and take her to school, like every single day. Samantha took Meghan to the duck pond. She took her out for ice cream. They had a relationship. Samantha was invited to Meghan's wedding to Trevor Engelson in 2011. Now, since Meghan's sit down and tell all, Samantha has lost her job. She's lost income. She has anxiety and fear. She's getting threatening messages, threatening emails, and, she can't afford round-the-clock security like Meghan can. So Meghan's attorney came back and said, this is a baseless and absurd lawsuit, and it's just a continuation of a pattern of disturbing behavior, and we will give it the minimum attention necessary, which is all it just, deserves. Harry was listed as an interesting person in the case. Now, in June of 2022, Meghan filed to dismiss the lawsuit, but the Judge Honeywell, denied the request because Samantha filed an amended complaint. Meghan then filed a second motion to dismiss, and Samantha attempted to remove the judge from the case, saying that Honeywell's impartiality was in question because she was appointed by President Barack Obama, who is good friends with Harry. I can totally see that. A jury trial was scheduled for October of 23, but then in March of 23, the case was dismissed by a judge in Florida who ruled in Meghan's favor, saying that Meghan's 2021 CBS interview comments were opinions and therefore not defamatory. And Samantha's claims about finding freedom, where Meghan gave all the information, were dismissed because Meghan was not the author. She should sue Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand. And now we're up to where we are because in March of 2024, a Florida judge dismissed Samantha's case with prejudice, saying she can't level it again. So now what's happened is she has filed again an appeal. It's a brief to appeal the judge's March ruling. They're saying that the court did not take into account the context in which all these statements were made and that it affects their interpretation. Now, I can totally see where each statement by itself doesn't sound so bad, but the truth is when you put all the statements together, then yeah, it's pretty bad. And they're saying in the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals statement that Samantha Markle's lawyers accuse Meghan of setting out to harm Samantha with the comments made to Winfrey and Netflix about their relationship. Now I'm going to give you an example of what Meghan said. So here's a picture of Meghan at Samantha's graduation. Samantha is holding a diploma, and as you can see, the diploma says Samantha Markle. Her last name is Markle, and she has always used the last name of Markle, okay? And Meghan goes, well, she changed her name back to Markle only when I started dating Harry. Well, as you can see in this documentation, she did have a name change, but it was her first name, not her last name. Now, what Meghan was insinuating was that Samantha changed her name from Rasmussen, which was her married name, back to Markle right when she started dating Harry. So that led people to believe in the interpretation from what Meghan said, that Samantha wanted to be called Markle because, it would somehow help her. But the truth is that's not what happened. It had to do with dealing with her children's last name because was the last name of her children. So what Meghan did was very misleading. And, yes, that's her opinion of the facts, but that's not actually what happened. And the impact of the statements, when you read them in order and context, when you put it all together, it makes Samantha look really, really bad. It's implied defamation because she omitted facts from her statements. And so basically what she did is imply that Samantha is a lying, racist fame seeker who's out to harm Meghan and capitalize on, Meghan and Harry. The filing clearly points out that Meghan is responsible for all the statements. Meghan either said the defamatory statement or published the statement said by others. She chose the order and the structure of the statements. She spoke the statements, and Meghan knew the truth and that it could easily have been discovered even though she knew she was lying. But then we know that she has a habit of doing that, don't we? She says things that we know or we found out later on are absolute lies, but she just keeps lying all the time because I think somehow she just doesn't care that people find out that she lies. So Samantha's lawyers have requested an oral hearing in the case, an oral argument. Meghan wants you guys to think that she grew up so poor and so sad. Her mother, by her own admission, took her to Mexico multiple times. She went to the best private schools. But for some reason, she really wants people to think that she grew up this poor, dejected little girl who didn't understand her identity and didn't know what to do. So here are all the documents. You guys can peruse them from beginning to end, stop, freeze, but make sure you read it. And I know you guys are like, do I really want to read this? Yes, you do. You really want to read the important passages so that you get a really good understanding of what Samantha's attorney is trying to say, because I completely agree with him. One or two statements by themselves? No. Put them all together? Yes. So there's a lot of pages. So for the rest of the video, I'm going to play some soft music for you. Happy reading, and make sure you stay up to date. And if any more, information comes out about the case, I'll keep you up to date on it. Here you go. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, hit the bell for all notifications. Go down into the description box where you'll find the link to video 2. Follow me on over. Let's go.